Hi, girlies. Welcome to Book Please Podcast. It's Elina here.
Hi guys, it's Amanda.
Happy Valentine's Day.
And I just want to say you should be showing your significant other you love them every day, not just on Valentine's Day.
For sure. And I just want to say that I spent many years being upset and like whatever on Valentine's Day. And I just want to say, I understand it may be hard for some people, but just know it's worth the wait. And not everybody is going to be in a perfect situation at the same time. Stop comparing yourself, and you have the rest of your life to be settled down and for it to work out in the way that it's supposed to.
Exactly. And going out to dinner on Valentine's Day is usually not good service. Everything's
Overrated. But whatever it is, however you're celebrating, honestly, like it's love your dog, love your family, love your partner, love your damn self. Number one, we love you all so much. We're so grateful for your support, and we couldn't be here without you. So we just want to say thank you so very much for being here.
And thank you for hitting the subscribe button you're about to push on.
Yes. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, follow us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts if that's how you're listening to us. But for real, we really do appreciate you all and sending so much love. So we are fresh off the Super Bowl. Once again, the Kansas City Chiefs are Super Bowl champions for the second year in a row, but they won in overtime. So the end of the game was pretty intense. I would say, though, that the real winner of the big game was my co-host and bestie, Amanda.
Guys, the only time I gamble is during Super Bowl. I buy boxes.
Yes.
It's the easiest to understand. There's not much complications in it. So I'm happy to say I won 2 quarters.
Oh my goodness.
And I put in $100, so you guys can do the math on how much I won.
Well, you know what? Your boxes are not the same as everybody's.
But I think the payouts are the same, no?
No, some boxes do more for halftime, less for each quarter.
Wow.
So you won $2,000.
I won what the person that would have won the whole game would have won. So
oh my God. That is just unbelievable, honestly. I'm so happy for you. Yes, girl. Pay it off, queen. What a Valentine's Day gift for you. I'm dead. I lost a little bit of money, but not that much, so I'm not salty. All I would have needed to win, if the game went exactly as it did, because I did a parlay, which is like you need a number of things to all work.
That's too much for me.
I do it throughout the season, sometimes like a little bit. So I needed like a certain amount of things to all work out for me to win my bet. And the last thing I needed all I needed was Travis Kelce to get a damn touchdown. That's what let me down, Trav. But it's okay. Do you want to talk about Usher and the halftime show?
Yes. Oh, and the commercial. We have so much to talk about.
Yes, we do.
I think Usher killed it. I loved it. I loved everyone he brought. Alicia Keys looked fire. She looked beautiful. I'm telling you, they don't age. Like, I was just like, I had to Google how old Usher was because I'm like, I feel like
they do
my
not
childhood,
age.
and he's like looks the same. He's like super fit. When his shirt was coming off, I was like being respectful to my boyfriend.
I'm dead. No, he did great. I will say I was a little nervous in the beginning. It was almost like they were having a little sound issue. Like the sound guy, I feel like let him down. Like it was a little choppy. And I was like, oh goodness. And I really felt it like picked up when Alicia came on. His guests like really put it over the edge. Alicia killed it. As soon as I heard that first second of piano, I was like, my girl is here, Miss Alicia. And then we had Will I Am. We had Lil Jon. Literally
Ludacris.
The rollerblades. Ludacris, the rollerblade scene.
I was like,
wait.
I was like, look at him go. Oh, so good. I thought it was great.
At first it was only like the dancers and stuff, and I even thought that was still dope, and I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. They're up there. He performed like on rollerblades on the stage while like singing and dancing.
Killed it. Like it's like that was even aging.
unreal.
Mhm.
So shout out to him. It's so funny because some people like really put him in the same like era and category as Chris Brown. And so they were like, oh, now like what
Mhm.
about Chris Brown Super Bowl? I'm like, nobody is gonna let this man like he's already canceled. Like they're not gonna give him a Super Bowl. Hello?
I was honestly surprised they picked Usher, but I then again, like after when he started playing, I was like, oh my god, I forgot how many bangers he had, because I feel like
Yeah.
recently he hasn't been as, you know,
Yeah,
but
I would say I think there was like mixed reviews kind of on his performance. I think it was great. I think it was nostalgic. I
mhm,
think why he was a performer, I agree. I think it was kind of overdue. Like it's not his era right now. But I
mhm,
think what it's tied to is I don't know if you know this, but he has like he's Mr. Las Vegas right now. He's has a residency in Vegas where he's performing
ah,
and like a lot of stars have been seen going there. Like Kim was like went there like
got
it
it.
was supposed to be
Mhm,
like her birthday present and like there was just like a
mm,
big there's been a lot of press around his Vegas shows and like this is the first year that the Super Bowl was in the new stadium built in Las Vegas. So I think they like it
mm.
made sense because it's part of like the
So is it
city.
like kind of like Britney, where he has like his own set place, performs
Yes.
all the time?
Yep.
Got
And
it.
Adele
Mhm,
too. Yep. The same
mhm,
thing. And his show, though, this is the crazy news that I learned about this. Like, he has been he's Usher. Like, he's a little bit sexual. He's
yeah.
sexy, serenading women. Like, his shows have caused some controversy because it all started, I feel like what catapulted it was Kiki Palmer gave him like this reputation of being the way that he was. Like she went to one of his shows. I mean, she looked hot. I think she wore like a little bodysuit, but she wore like a whole full length dress that was kind of lacy and see through over it. So
Mhm,
she was still kind of covered, but you could see if she turned around, like she was a little cheeky, whatever. He was like serenading her, dancing up on her, and her
mhm.
man and baby daddy was not happy. He was
Ooh.
like, oh, like this is the like a mother out there like this, whatever, like publicly commenting on social media literally led to their entire breakup. Like it was a whole saga.
She can wear what she
I was
wants. She looks great.
shook. Yeah, I was shook, but why I bring this up is because I just found out they just announced literally during the Super Bowl, it started circulating online that he just obtained a marriage license like this past weekend. And apparently he's
Mm.
been with a woman for years since 2019, has kids with her, which I feel like a lot of the reactions I'm seeing on social media, everyone's like, who? And it's like you're out here breaking up homes and you have this woman that you're like marrying. And now he just surfaced with a ring after the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
So we're like, did they get married in Vegas? Like shook.
Mm. Trying to keep his life private.
Yeah, either way, happy for you, Usher. But damn, I'm like dead that this is how he's been acting. I'm like breaking up homes. And he's like, I'm good over here.
Okay, speaking of the Super Bowl, I didn't know. I
Yes.
mean, I feel like you're more in that like knowing celebrity stuff than I do. But Ice Spice, is that her name? Ice Spice? Her and
Yeah.
Taylor are friends? They've always been
Yeah,
friends?
she's even on one of her songs.
Oh, they have a song too. Okay, because I was just like,
Yep.
obviously I knew Blake Lively, I knew everyone else that was there with her. And I was like, then I feel like I know this girl, but yeah, I feel like maybe her songs are like newer and TikToky now, but I'm just learning who she is.
Who Ice Spice is?
Hmm.
Yeah,
That
she's pretty
crazy?
dope.
Oh,
She's cool.
okay.
No, I love her. I'll send you some songs. She's really cool. And Taylor's having some like other features on her new album with like Post Malone, which like I really want to hear that.
Oh yeah, Post Malone did great too. His
He
performance.
did
Yeah.
great. I wasn't that impressed with Reba. I like her, but I just thought she could have belted it out and it was just I felt it was safe. She did great, but
Hmm.
she didn't
Yeah.
like bring me to tears, you know?
What about the commercials? Is there any that you liked?
Okay. Here's the thing. I feel like I always start with here's the thing. I was underwhelmed. There were of course commercials that I thought were great, but I think as a whole, like it wasn't like, oh my gosh, we're some people just watch for the commercials and I think it in that
Hmm.
sense it kind of disappointed. And you could tell they almost didn't sell enough because the Super Bowl was running on CBS this year, so they did a lot of like CBS promos and like show um previews and stuff.
Previews, yeah.
Those are just filler for like where they didn't sell their
Oh.
slots. So I was like, this is yeah, there were a couple
Yeah,
of
we should have
course.
bought a slot.
Oh, yes, book please.
We could have definitely
Literally
afforded that.
donate below because you need
We should have
what
started a
$7 million
GoFundMe.
dollars. Only, guys, only
Only.
7 million. If each of you donates 1 million, we will be there
I'm
in
trying to think of
no
more.
time.
Listen, Taylor Swift, we'll talk about you every episode if you want to
I'm
fund us.
dead. Tell me before we even just comment a little bit on Tay.
Mhm, mhm.
Tell me what were your like standout commercials?
Okay, so the only one that I pretty much remember, and I don't remember who
See?
the commercial was like. I don't remember if it was like Doritos or I don't, but the one with Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck, Tom Brady, like there were so many like famous people in that. And then she's like, Tom Brady can stay. And I was like, I agree. Send your
That
money
was
up.
hilarious because that's her husband and it was for Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. Okay.
I think it was like Donut King or something like that. Dunk King or so. I don't know what the play was on the words, but it was like some kind of band or whatever. And then it was just like casually Tom Brady was in it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It
He
was,
was in a lot of commercials.
he
He
was.
was
I'm trying to remember what
thirsty for
else.
this.
That's the only one I remember because I love
But
Tom
that's
Brady.
what I'm telling you. They were not that great. I
Yeah.
will say one of my favorites was Arnold Schwarzenegger for State Farm.
Yes, yes,
Neighbor.
yes. Oh
Neighbor.
man,
That
I saw that and I was just like, wow, he's aging.
I thought it was hilarious though. And I did love the J-Lo commercial. We're so
I
sorry,
know.
Arnold. But we do that Arnold press at the gym a lot.
Yeah. No,
So
Arnold, I'm
shout
kidding. You
out
look
King.
great. You look great. I'm just saying it. I was
Yeah.
just like, wow. I feel like it's aging me seeing everyone that I watched as a kid get older. Except for
I
Usher, he
know.
doesn't age. And
He
Alicia Keys doesn't
really
age either.
doesn't. Ugh, at all. It's the skin, like they're just perfection. I
Oh,
was gonna say, I also another one that like kind of made some headlines was Beyonce's commercials. I don't know if you really paid attention to this. It flew under the radar for some people. Basically, they were like teasing something happening with Verizon and that Arrested Development actor. I think his name is like Tony Hall or Hale or something. They were teasing something coming up with Beyonce before the game. And then like this guy's like trying to make lemonade. He's like squeezing lemons. Then he's talking to like her horse that she has on her Renaissance tour. So everyone's like, okay, something's coming. Then there's a big commercial with Beyonce during the Super Bowl and it's for Verizon and they're like the joke is like she's okay you break the internet but we have 5G like you can't break Verizon like
mm,
it's too powerful it's too good so the whole commercial is her trying to break Verizon so like you're watching all the notifications go like she does crazy things like she goes up in space she's like I'll be the first female to launch a rocket and perform in space and then the guy's like checking he's like nope still good like checking
mm,
to see if she broke the network with their news. She did all
mm,
different things. And then at the end, and she's like, okay, they're ready now. Like, drop the music. And so as soon as she said that, then like this teaser video for music popped up on her social media.
mhm.
And then shortly after that, she dropped 2 new songs and announced a new
Oh,
album.
so you're on it. You're so
What
good.
a
I see. I don't catch any of
queen.
those things.
I
Oh,
have
good
to
for
write about this
her.
for my day job as a reporter.
Yeah,
So,
you. I feel like you know all these things. I have to be like, who is this person? You be like this person. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay.
no, but that's good because we both have like different things that we can contribute. And you
100%.
can also bash me for all the like feeding into all the bullshit and like Taylor Swift. And
I,
we'll
I was
keep
gonna,
it
I was gonna mute
balanced.
you. I was gonna mute you that night. No, I'm kidding.
But I didn't. You act like
You
I'm
were
like
good.
this crazy. Like I
No,
didn't
you're
even
just,
mention her
you're
to
a
you
hopeless
once.
romantic. So just like anything with them that's cute,
But
you're like, ah, and I'm just like,
aren't you?
no, yes and no. I don't know. I just feel like I think I'm just over them. I don't know what it is. I'm happy for them.
I like
And I'm just
I
like,
have this perspective that I'm so over people writing comments on photos of it. Just keep scrolling. You're
I don't.
gonna
I
just
see. I
keep
don't
putting it
comment.
in
I'm
your
good.
note
Yeah.
in your news feed.
Hmm.
Get over it, relax. It
Yeah.
happens. But there were a lot of celebrities there last night. Beyonce was there in a suite with
Yes.
Jay-Z.
And
Her
she looked
daughters were there.
amazing. Loved her hair.
Amazing. And she made
Hmm.
up for the Grammys because I didn't think she looked so great in the Grammys.
You know, like
I'm
her
sorry to
cowboy
say.
hat.
The cowboy hat was cool. It was more like it wasn't the cowboy hat for me. I think it was her hair. It didn't look like her. Like she didn't look like her gorgeous self with her
Glam. Yeah, like.
beautiful big hair and all that. I just didn't like that hair for her, but that's
I
okay.
like it.
The cowboy hat though was clearly a hint because her new album that's coming out March
Oh,
29th is going to be country themed. It's called Renaissance Act 2 is going to be country themed. So I think there's going to be a different genre of music for each. She's doing like a trilogy of three. So she had her Renaissance album. Now there's Act 2, and then there will be Act 3 that's going to be after this one.
oh,
So
good for
they were
her.
there. Ariana Grande was in a suite with one of her Wicked castmates, and I was like, ugh, is SpongeBob there? Because apparently he
Distasteful.
wasn't. Justin Bieber and Haley were there.
Hmm.
Lana Del Rey was there.
Yes, Lady Gaga.
The Kardashians were there.
I saw some pretty
What
funny
was
memes
Lady
of Lady
Gaga
Gaga.
doing with
I was
her
just gonna
face?
say.
I thought she was done with those weird get-ups that she's used to. Remember when she used to come to like award shows and like as a piece of meat or like a random costume thing? Like
Yeah, I thought she was always out of.
honestly, the things with the eyes, all those like gems across her face, I was like, it's like a mask. Like it just wasn't it. I'm over
Yeah,
that stuff.
she's all
Like
over
great
socials.
woman, she can sing,
But yeah.
but girl, just use your damn face. Like you're fine. It was too much for
I
me.
love her in A Star Is Born. Like I think she looks gorgeous in that. So like down to
Yes,
earth and
she's
like yeah,
beautiful.
yeah,
She's beautiful, talented. She has a
very.
gorgeous
Hmm.
heart. You
Yes,
know,
great
funny story,
person.
when I worked at Elvis Duran in the morning show for iHeartRadio, I met her and worked with her, and she just has this
Oh.
presence. She's so
Hmm.
humble and wonderful, but she just has this presence where you're like, and I wasn't even necessarily a fan, but like she just takes your breath away being in a room. Like she was unbelievable
Hmm.
and stunning
I think
and
she's from New
just
York,
so
right? I
sweet.
think she
I
is.
think she is, yes.
Yeah, I want to say she might be from Long
Wonderful
Island.
human.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard she's very nice.
Yeah, awesome. So love her, but could have done without the eye mask gems thing going on.
It's all right. She wouldn't be her if she didn't do that. Because look, we're talking about it now.
That's true. That is true. You know what? You're absolutely right.
She knew what
I'll
she was
give
doing.
Taylor 1 minute of our time.
Oh, Taylor looked beautiful. I
Um,
thought she looked great. I was honestly like, I think I don't know if maybe I liked her in black, but that's the first time I felt like she looked. Oh, how do I not say this without sounding mature? Like she looked like. Hmm. Say it without sounding like she
like a
looked like
woman,
a woman.
modern,
Yeah, like a
stylish.
yes, yes, yes,
No,
yes.
I know what you mean. I cannot, like, okay, love her music and like her as like her heart, her as a person, but I can't defend her style. Like, there are times where I'm like, girl, you're a billionaire. Like, get yourself a new stylist or do something with your hair. Like, I thought her hair last night was absolutely stunning.
Beautiful.
She looked gorgeous. I wish she had that hair for the Grammys. Like, what was her
Her
Grammys
hair
hair for?
pulled back was so nice. I mean, I didn't like her dress either.
I know, it wasn't it. Like, no, I
Last night
think
was
it
it.
was really
Hmm.
for the Grammys. I think all of that together wasn't it. Like maybe if she just wore the dress without the gloves or without the red lip, that hair was too much. Like just all of it together. But last night, the little black corset, the black jeans, the hair, the makeup, stunning. All those
Hmm.
like moments after with Travis were because of course I wanted the 49ers to win. Like okay, the Chiefs have had their moment. They just won last year. I'm ready for somebody new to come in. I think the
Of course.
49ers played absolutely an amazing game and they were doing better. Like the Chiefs didn't wake up till the fourth quarter. Like it only got good. It was an awful beginning to the game. And I think consistently over the whole game, I think the 49ers played a better game. I think their defense made it really hard for the
Oh,
Chiefs to get
defense
on
was
the board.
amazing.
Their
Hmm.
defense was incredible. They have nothing to feel bad about. I think the only silver lining for me was seeing like all the stuff come out after for with Taylor and Travis, like just having their moment, like the after party, like having like listening to that music, like her song came on, Love Story, and they were just lost in the moment, dancing and kissing. Like that stuff for me was cute. I was like, okay, well, I'm a little happy to see this, but still, I would have picked the 49ers to win for
Yeah.
sure.
For me, like they deserve to win. They came back, they killed it. I think the 49ers did amazing. The defense was awesome. Their quarterback was amazing too. So I'm not it was a great game. Honestly, all I cared about
Yeah.
was winning money, so I didn't care who won,
Yes,
but
girl.
I was definitely for rooting for the 49ers because, I want someone that, they won last year, so I feel like it was time to get someone
Yes,
else.
for sure. And
But yeah.
I was happy it got good at the end because it really
Mhm.
was off to an awful start. I was like, this game is terrible.
I was like,
But
"Stay
it
0-3, stay
really
0-3. I win more money." I'm like, "Please stay this."
oh yes. Yes. That was like the craziest, like never would happen scenario, but these things always happen. It's always weird numbers and things in the Super
Mhm.
Bowl. So, you know,
You love stuff, so the box that I picked was number 14, and that's the day me and my partner met. So I'm like, "Oh, we're such good luck."
yay!
I said, "But don't
I
propose to me on that
love
day
it.
because Valentine's Day."
That is good luck. And I love that Valentine's Day is on the 14th. Extra special.
Yes.
Yay to you. A shout out to both of you. And I'm so happy for your money, honey. It overall was a great game, a good night. We had
Mhm.
so much to talk about. So, yeah, happy
Last thing
with
I
how
wanna
things turned out.
say is I know, Taylor Swift look amazing, not to get back on Taylor, but I love her,
Yeah.
necklace that she wears, the 87. That's her.
I loved that necklace.
See,
I
like,
was going to send
I
it to
love
you.
cute stuff like that. Like, that's cute too. Yeah,
Yes,
I like
I was gonna
that.
send it to you,
Yeah.
but I was like, she's gonna hate me, so I
No, I
just,
see, I like
I
stuff like that.
don't.
I think that's cute because that kinda shows, like, she always supports him, goes to all his games, great girlfriends, even the cute things like the necklace, the jacket she wears, like, I think that's cute things to show your support without being obnoxious, I think, it's like, "I love this man." I mean, I think they love each other,
Yes.
but, and it's like, it's cute, thoughtful.
Yes. No, they do, and they say I love you. They've been recorded saying, of course.
Oh,
But
okay, so I get
yes.
it, yeah.
And she does, she also like all these things are captured not by her. None of them. Even
It's
the
not her,
videos of
yeah,
them
she can't help it.
like she hasn't posted not once. So,
Mhm,
I mean, I think pretty cool candid moments that came out of it.
mhm.
Happy to see it. Happy also for the 49ers. I mean, I know they're devastated, but they killed it and they should be
Came
proud of
close.
themselves.
Mhm.
And Kristen Juszczyk killing it with her apparel and one of her vests sold for $75,000 for charity. So
Aw.
she should be very proud of herself.
Yay.
Yay. Now we move on to the
Da, da,
book.
da, da. No, I'm
we
kidding.
we dun, 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 dun. We read chapters 37 to 46 in Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros.
Oh, where to start? Where to start? I mean, I guess we'll start in the beginning with, it starts off with us seeing Mira come, right? Towards them,
Yeah,
and then
for
they
the
don't know if
first
it's.
chapter we saw was like her in a dream, but I knew it was a dream, by the
Oh, yeah,
way.
I knew instantly. Yeah, it was.
She's having like these themes. We'll see what they like amount to, but like
Mhm.
these themes of recurring dreams and nightmares and but I knew
She's
the
going
whole
through it.
time. I was like, Rebecca, you ain't fooling me. But yes, the big first moment we have, I think, was when Mira first came.
Mhm. And we don't know if, like, she's coming to, like, attack or see what's going on, join them. So that was like a huge.
I definitely thought that she was coming kind of against them. Like I was like, it can't be that this happy ending that every single person is all for
Mhm.
this new revolution. Like I was shocked because at first when I saw her, I was like, oh shit, and Tarn's going at her dragon. So that was a good one by Miss Rebecca because I believed
Yeah.
it.
And I'm happy she made it realistic though, because I think realistically we want Mira to be on her brother and sister side. Even
Yeah.
though she's upset with him, thinking he was dead for 6 years. But I also think if she would have like randomly chose the mom, well, I think the mom is secretly on their side. I think there's something
She is.
there's be a bottom line with her that's like she's thinking about her family first, but she has morals. I don't think she's like, doesn't care
Yeah.
about anyone else. Yeah.
We come to learn like that she did let everyone kind of have a choice and she let
Yep.
everyone in. These like carcasses showed up and she had no explanation for them.
You can't say
And
it.
she
Hmm.
was like, you know what? This is what's happening. You guys have a choice. Like, you have your freedom to decide where you want to stand. And I think she is supporting them. Mira comes. Finally, we find out, like, okay, she is, there for good. And then
Hmm.
who walks out when she gets there? And she's completely pale faced.
Big bro.
Renan, I loved her reaction.
I would have reacted the same. Like she literally punched him right in the face. I was like, I get it. I get it.
100%.
That was so realistic.
A
I was like,
hundred
"Yep."
percent. That was the best choice because like you would think it'd be like this like kumbaya like moment and
Mhm.
special reunion. And she was like, you mother effer, like you've been dead and we've been mourning you.
Mhm. Dad had a heart attack mourning your death.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
she's
come
just
on. No, no, I don't blame her whatsoever. So I mean, that's gonna take some time for
to
sure.
build up. Yeah. I would
Yeah.
say Violet's definitely the more like one that's just like, "Oh, I get it." But she handled it a lot better than Mira. But I'm sure it's because they were closer in age and like, so I can see it.
Yeah, for sure. And she I think she's just been seeing too the impact that it's had on the other side for so long and
Mhm.
it's just so hard to come to terms with. But
Mhm.
I think for Violet the difference too was like she felt like she had nobody at that point and she was so defeated and she just watched all this loss and she doesn't know
Mhm.
everything
Who
she
would
knew was a
trust.
lie and
Mhm.
then finally like somebody's there. So I just think she just clung to it in the moment and Mira's just like, what the actual F is
Yeah.
happening? So I do not blame her. The other thing we found out too was that this palace in Eurasia that Violet is at is Zayden's.
Mhm.
That was insane. Like she's
Yeah.
like, that's like her room, his room, and then he's like, "Oh, my chair," and they're like, "What are you talking?"
Yeah.
And then
I
we
I can
come
see
to
that.
learn. Yeah, I think there's a lot here that we're gonna learn, and we're not done learning, why Zayden has kept certain things under wraps. We know he's doing it for Violet's protection and sake, and she knows a whole lot, and I believe his intentions with her are totally genuine. But I think
Mhm.
there's still a lot more here to unpack than what we think we know.
Yeah, and I would say I'm going to tell you some of the things like I liked reading, things that I cared
Yeah,
most about. So for me, the book is kind of losing me because it's too much going on.
yeah,
Maybe for me like the battle parts or like I like the drama parts. I like the part with Kat being there,
yeah,
seeing the jealous ex, her acting a little jealous, Zayden being very defensive and she's saying that he's acting like Dane.
yeah.
Yeah, acting like Dane and like, not trusting that she could take care of herself. So I like all those parts. I like Mira and her relationship. But everything else that's going on is just a lot.
It's a lot. I will say what I really enjoyed about the other book was in the midst of everything, she still nurtured their relationships with one another. We got to like grow with Zayden and Violet, her and her
Mhm,
sister. We had such attachments to Rhiannon. Even things that were happening with Dane, we felt, whether good or bad, emotion out of them. And I just feel like a lot of this is supposed to be like, oh my gosh, they're making this, when they have to make this climb. Oh, we're supposed to be like, oh, this person fell. Oh, we're getting ready for war. Yeah, but you're not taking time. Like, Brennan and Mira and Violet are all reunited together. Like, give us a moment to sit with that. Like, give us some
mhm.
interaction there. Give us more moments with Zayden and Violet building things up. Even more one-on-ones with Kat and Violet, and like make us hate
Mhm.
her or feel differently. Like, I just feel like a lot of it is like the plot is the war, and I would
Yes.
rather her nurture more of like the character relationships that we are so invested in.
Mhm. And then finding out that the books actually weren't that helpful, and then she's trying to learn how to like, be better with her
Bored.
signet, and it's just like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Adarna is like the most exciting part for me. I can't wait till. I mean, that's gonna like, I don't. How can they hide that? I'm just like, that's gonna bite us in the
Okay, so
ass.
let's talk about Andarna before we do the war stuff. I feel like
Mhm.
she is not, they're saying she was growing at such a rapid pace that she's not
Rapid pace.
growing properly, and like the one wing won't fully extend, and this and that. I have a prediction. I
Ooh.
don't think that Andarna is like sleeping for so long and all these issues and this and that. There's little planted things going on here that tells me that Andarna is going to be very special, and this is why she needs more time. I think
Oh.
that Andarna is not just a black dragon. There was a reference in the beginning where of this section of the chapters where Violet said like she saw that her black scales had like a glowing red tint, and then later on she said they were kind of glowing green. So I think that, and she's like, when are they just going to go black? Like, what's wrong with her? Like, I think that she's gonna have, this might be like far fetched, whether it's this or something else, like
Mhm.
maybe she'll have the ability to change her scales or like the type of whatever color that she is for to fit the situation of what they're fighting. Like,
Mhm.
if it's more
Oh,
beneficial,
so your
yeah,
theory is, I think I can kind of align with this,
she's
where you
changing.
think she can, or I think she can take people's powers what they have. I think she can feed it. Like if you can
Yeah,
block something, or if you are like have the shadows, like she can mimic it
yeah,
to defend. I think she's gonna have a
something.
crazy, powerful
There's
signet that's gonna.
something.
Mhm.
She's taking this long for a reason. She's not
Mm,
a typical dragon.
she's not. She never was, honestly.
No, she wasn't. That homegirl stopped time as a baby.
She's gonna be so
Forget
powerful.
it. I love her. I love her.
But you do
Um,
realize one of the dragons have to die. Like one of them has to.
shh.
She can't have two.
No.
I feel
Yeah,
like
she can.
I, I feel like they have to make Rebecca has to make this realistic where we lose an important dragon. I don't know. I know Sigale and Taryn have to be connected. So if one of them die, then it's deadly for both. So Adarna, I can't. She's gonna be so strong. I can't imagine it's her. So what other dragons are left?
I don't know, girl, but don't plant this. I know it's already written, but don't give any ideas away. I know what you're saying. I just don't want to believe it, so
Mhm.
I'm choosing not to. But we will have this on record if you were right, and we can refer to it, and I'll be sad, and we'll be
That's how
crying.
I would write it. I feel like the thing that Rebecca gets me most is like I fall in love with these characters and then I cry when
Yes,
they like pass away. Like
yes,
Liam, losing
Liam,
Liam was like I literally was bawling. Like the just like oh
a
like take care of my
hundred.
sister. Like I was just when she
No,
found
truly.
when Brennan's journal, became Violet's, bawling. Like I thought that was so like she gets me when she touches those little like, heart moments for me. So I feel
Yeah,
like she has to keep doing that. Important people have to die. Like it's just
yeah.
she's gonna lose one of her siblings, 100%.
Oh, stop it! She already did, and she lost her dad. Let's just
Oh,
stop.
interesting.
Let's not do this. I know. I keep feeling like it's gonna be Mira, but let's see what happens.
No, I hope not.
You don't think? If it's one of
Probably.
them,
Brennan's
they're
a
not
little
gonna.
more important.
She's not
Yeah.
gonna kill off Brennan again. I don't
Again,
think
yeah.
she's gonna
It's
bring him
overkill.
back to kill him. You don't do that. But who
Mhm.
knows? The other thing that's going on over there in Erasure, like they've gone over there now. Violet is training with Felix. She's learning that what she was trained to do with her signet with lightning has been basically all wrong.
Mhm.
He's like, you didn't start small. You're not learning to aim. Like, we got to redo this whole training. So she's working through this. She was taken to a field and told to like strike one of the chests open, and in exchange for the luminary she did that, and a venom popped out. That
Mhm.
was crazy. She like electrocuted the whole field. Like there was that whole scene, which was a lot. Then the scene about the big climb that they had to make was something else, and we lost Luella in there. It was like riddled with traps, and that's ultimately what killed Ruella. Riddick got hurt, Brennan healed him, Violet's shoulder popped out, Dane popped it back in. It was a whole thing.
Mhm.
One thing I will say is as they're getting closer to these Griffin riders, she's learning that they're not as harsh in their training. Like the dragon riders, all of their training is like, okay, if you don't make it across, you die. If this, if we're practicing and we're sparring, you could die. Like you always just
Mhm.
die. With the griffin riders, they're like, oh yeah, we go to this huge cliff and it's the 30-foot drop and we just jump. And if we land on a griffin rider, like we bond on a griffin, we bonded. And so she's like, oh my gosh, so what happens to the bodies at the bottom, because there's water, like do they just wash up the bodies? And they were like, wash up? No, like we just swim to shore,
Sure.
and then
Yeah.
we take a different position like in the infantry or something if we don't land on a griffin. And there is like this recurring theme of like it's not as intense, and I feel like there were questions. They were like, is this necessary that we're like to our death in every training?
Because every
That was
every
super
life
interesting.
matters for them. I feel like if you think about it, where she grew up and how she was raised is very like
As they
fight or flight,
should.
fight or flight. Whereas like with the Griffiths, I feel like the reason why they're so outnumbered and don't do as well is because they want you to like I don't know. I feel like they have more personality too. They're not just very like death, death, death.
No, I
I
agree. I
like some
think
of
that
them
they definitely are more protective of their
of
lives.
their kind.
Yeah, me too. And I was sad when Luella died. And then, of course,
Mhm.
Kat was like coming at Violet for for being at fault when she wasn't. And even one of her own stood up for Violet and was like, no, it wasn't on her.
Hmm.
But let's get into that's like kind of the last piece that we need to get into this relationship with Kat and Violet. And ooh, it is testy. Like it is, there's
It's
tension here.
typical jealousy thing. Like, uh, I don't know. I feel like well, when we learned that her and Kat trained with Zayden, and like, so them fighting each other is like, it's like us being trained by the same person, knowing the same moves, same blocks.
Yeah.
Here we go. And then it must be even more annoying because they both recognize it. And they're like,
Yeah. I think that's what it was the whole time is
mhm,
Kat is look, she's a bitter ex and she is just giving all these passive aggressive comments to Violet, which helps nobody. And she's just making these remarks and like riling her up to the point where she was like trying to control her lightning. Like she felt like this power that she had to like keep down. This bitch is just going at her, going at her. She's just like hating on her because she's the next girl that he's with. But I
mhm, and he's
also
protective.
think
Yeah.
she must know that she's special. Like she was even, but Kat was just trying to act the whole time like, oh, I know him. Like if you say this to him, like it's not gonna matter or this or that. Like trying to act like been there, done that. And I would have
Yeah.
smacked a hoe. Like, how dare you? Just relax. Like there's a lot bigger shit going on right now. And
Hmm.
it just made me so mad. I just wanted to
Do you
smack her.
remember when they were in the room? It was her, Mira, and Kat, and she was just like throwing jabs. She was like bringing up Zayden. Oh, I'm surprised he like left you alone. All these things,
Yes.
and then Mira's like, "Oh, if you want to freaking kill her, I'm okay." And I was just like, Jesus, the girl's just being a little catty. And Mira's like, fuck
Yeah.
her up. Just like,
She wasn't being a little catty. Girl, if
yeah.
that were you and that was an ex-girlfriend talking to you about your man like that, not only how mad would you be, but how lit would
But I
I
don't
be?
like
I'd
how
be like, what
Violet
are we
handled
doing?
it. Because Violet was like, I'm going to sleep in my own
Why?
room. Because Zayden's like, come stay with me. And she's like, because she wanted to
Oh,
seem a
yeah.
little tougher in front of the ex girlfriend. Where I was just like, yeah, I'm going to go stay with my man. Like, I would have done things
Yes.
back to be like,
Right. That's not what I thought you meant. I thought you meant
oh,
like
yeah.
her getting angry at it, like because I would be too. But yes,
Oh,
you
yeah, no,
have
she
to
was
just be
right.
like, I'm
Hmm.
unbothered. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
right. He's mine. He wants me. I'm good over
Yeah.
here. Goodbye.
Mira
But
was
then
ready to like strangle her for her. Mira was like, that's a
I
choice.
always am that way. I will say it. Even if I don't speak up for myself, I will for my friend. If I see that
Mhm.
shit, I'm like, mm-mm. Like,
Mhm.
no way. You are not going to be disrespectful
Or
to
I'm
my
a big
friend.
believer in that. Say what you want about me. I don't care what. Talk about family, friends. I lose it.
Yes, 100%. It's like a whole other thing for
Hmm.
sure. So where we left off was what you had mentioned, where Kat and Violet are fighting and no one's like able to really get this upper hand. That's because they're using the same techniques
Techniques.
and Violet's starting to catch on like, damn, like we're both trained by Zayden. And I'm sure that makes her feel a type of way. So that's where we left off. We don't really know what comes of it or what comes next.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see. I feel like. What do you have any predictions for the future? I hope we like dial it back on like all the war stuff because I want to like get more layers and like learn more about everyone. But I don't know. I agree with everything you said about Ardana. Like I feel like she's gonna be
Yeah.
amazing.
To be honest, I don't think at all that things are going to be dialed back. I think we are approaching the climax of like
Mm,
when the war is going to start. Like they're preparing for all of this. There will be losses. I think
mhm.
eventually, like the mom will come to help fight on the front lines. I don't know what we're going to find out about the dad, but I don't think that everything we know about him has been put away. So maybe he's there. Like who even knows? But I think definitely the mom's gonna come back. And my biggest prediction, like I said, was with Andarna being very special, our
Yeah,
little
and Darn is
princess.
she's gonna be the star of the show.
Yes. So we will see for next week. We are reading chapters 47 to 57 in Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Amanda, do you want to plug our socials, honey?
If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to subscribe. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at Book Please Podcast, and we're also on Twitter/X at Book Please Pod, and we're also on Facebook now, Book Please Podcast.
Yes.
Please make sure to like
Yes.
us. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.